What's the difference between a cheap shed and an expensive shed? You might not want to become an expert in timber buildings just to buy one. To give you a shortcut, we've created the Gillis & Mackay Shed Buyer's Checklist, which I refer to throughout this blog. You can download a copy of it from the website, print it off, and take it with you as you go shed shopping. Here's a quick rundown of the questions that it asks. The first question, and for my money the most important one, is what kind of timber is the shed built from? The key words that you're looking for here are Scandinavian redwood. That's what you can see behind me. And the Scandinavian redwood or Scandinavian pine, Swedish pine, for some reason timber has 1,000 names. Scandinavian redwood is what holds up best in a Scottish shed. This question is so important it's worth 2 points, not just 1. The next question is about the cladding of the shed. Now, because we're inside the building, we can't see the cladding. We're looking for tongue and groove cladding. That means that each board slots into the board next to it, and the board next to that, and the board next to that. It creates a solid panel of timber and a wall that's going to keep the weather out. Next up is the thickness of the cladding. The wall of this shed is 19mm thick. We suggest that a shed for Scotland shouldn't have cladding any thinner than 16mm. That's your absolute minimum. Next up is the framing that you can also see behind me here. This framing is 45 by 75 mils. As a minimum, we recommend 40 by 50. Anything more than that, your shed walls aren't going to stay rigid and strong. Next, is the framing pressure treated? Take a look at the framing here behind me. The wall is a golden colour, but the framing has a slightly green tinge to it. This is a sign that the wood's been pressure treated. Pressure treatment protects the framing from rot and insect damage, and if water does get to it, it won't cause any problems. We don't recommend pressure treated cladding, that's why these walls look golden, but pressure treating the framing is a great idea. Next, what about the roof? Is it made of timber? Behind me here you can see that we've got a tongue and groove timber roof made out of sarkin. There's no OSB, no plywood, nothing there forming the roof that's going to soak up water should any water get in. Whatever goes on top of the timber, whether it's shingles, roofing felt or steel, make sure that it's timber underneath. Next up on the checklist, are you buying from the manufacturer? This is so important. If anything goes wrong with your shed, you want to know that you're in the hands of an expert who'll be able to fix your problem. Those experts are shed manufacturers. Are we biased? Yes, of course. But also, we know what we're talking about when it comes to our buildings. Second last question, will the shed be assembled by experts? This usually goes hand in hand with buying from a manufacturer, and it's one of the great benefits of doing so. Unless you happen to be a joiner, get an expert to install your shed. This will help it last longer, it'll be square, it'll be solid, and it won't let the water in. And finally, is there a clear guarantee, aftercare pledge, service policy, something like that? In other words, if something does go wrong, who do you get in touch with and what will they do for you? Can they help if your shed door falls off? Or will they wash your hands of you as soon as you've walked out the door? Buying from a manufacturer doesn't guarantee a guarantee, but make sure that you ask about this whoever you buy your shed from. Add up all of the points. Remember that the first question is worth 2 points, and you'll be able to score your shed out of 10. The higher the score, the better. The first part of our checklist deals with that sheddy score, and the higher the sheddy score, the better the shed. However, we've also included a shoddy score to make sure that you know exactly what to look out for. If the cladding is made from spruce or whitewood, steer clear. If the cladding is under 16mm, it's not going to be a very durable building, and the same goes for the framing minimum. Look out for OSB or plywood in place of timber for the roof, and remember, if you're buying from a supplier, chances are you may have to assemble the building yourself. If all of this adds up to a high sheddy score and a low shoddy score, you can be confident that you're getting a decent quality building, whoever you buy it from.